Okay, good. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our second meeting of the month for May. This is the last village board meeting for the fiscal year of 23-24. I want to put that pause in there. I'd like to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Where'd our flags go? There's one on over there on the stand.
Oh, yep, I think it's supposed to be back.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The flag for Harlem. Okay.
Congratulations to the flag of the village of Rhinebeck.
Yeah. Not on the agenda, but I was handed a little piece of paper. This is the last fiscal year. I want to make a motion to approve some of our billing to close out, as part of our closeout. I'd like to make a motion to approve our prepaid bills, which are stuff that are ongoing, for $8,941.77. I'd like to make a motion, I'll do one at a time. Second. Second. All in favor? Any discussion?
Are those the bills we signed for?
Yes. But they came in and we want to close out the year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have a bill for our 6 Mulberry Street escrow account for $688, which there's money in there to pay. I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, water, we have some water bills of $4,801.35. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And a wastewater bill of $421.39. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
How much was that?
$421.39.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next, we have a FOIL appeal that was submitted to the Village of Rhinebeck. This FOIL appeal is for seeking information from the Village of Rhinebeck records listed from the office, which was a document from our legal services. I'd like to make note that the FOIL appeal came in before the end of the 10-day, so therefore it came in prematurely before the 10-day response, which we're allowed to have. And I'd like to also make note that the information was supplied within that 10-day period. So I'd like to make a motion to deny the FOIL of the appeal.
Second.
Discussion.
So, back up. So we were foiled for something. Martina responded within the 5 days.
Correct.
Before the 10 days that she has to respond was up, we were then sent an appeal because the FOIL had not been provided.
Correct.
What a waste of time.
And the information was provided within the 10-day allocation.
Okay?
I just want to comment that I'm recusing myself.
Perfect.
You can abstain. If you recuse yourself, you have to have it. I think you have to have
There has to be a reason.
a reason to recuse yourself.
Well, that will give away who the person is that all right?
It's already public
It's
knowledge.
probably- Yeah, because he was my campaign manager.
That's irrelevant to the vote.
Yeah, that's not as,
Recusing only applies if it directly affects you, in a way that would, where you have a certain interest. This doesn't. That doesn't apply.
I guess if you say so. I'm just trying to be, I'm just trying to.
I understand your point. I understand your point, but it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Okay.
It's a small village. I feel like if we all had to recuse ourselves.
No, I mean, it just depends on the issue. I mean, there's lots of other issues that are much less contentious that would be, wouldn't be an issue, that's all.
Fair enough.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor of denying the appeal, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained? Okay. Moving on. Update to Article 124. So I'll give you a little bit of background here. The update to Article 124, this is the rewrite of the village code in which the board, including myself, our job is to make motions on finances. And the finances are expenditures to employees, like benefits, years of service, overtime, out of title work, et cetera, et cetera. We went through and revised this in March. I believe it was March. And one of the things we revised in that time period was longevity. And what we had said in the previous Article 124 was that longevity would be paid out in a one lump sum payment on the anniversary date, which we can do. The change here, and I'll get back into a little bit more, the change here now is to change longevity to say that payments will be effective as of the employee's anniversary date as an addition to their hourly pay and not to be included in their salary calculations, which is what we were doing before March. And then we thought it would be easier if we went to a lump sum payment for our anniversary, on an anniversary date. Little caveat. And the caveat is that we were correct in both ways. We can do it either way, just so you know. We can pay it in one lump sum payment, or we can do it in an hourly payment kind of perspective. But kind of what was missed in the oversight here was that under FLSA rules, all money received by an employee for work is part of the employee's regular rate of pay. So when we are paying for it on an hourly rate, what's included in there is longevity also gets paid on overtime.
Oh,
And
so like longevity would raise it by like, I don't know, 50 cents an hour,
So-
and then we'd pay overtime on that 50 cents an hour.
Yeah, so like 15 cents an hour.
Right.
So if they work 4 hours overtime, they get that extra 15 cents for that 4 hours overtime.
Right.
We were doing that prior to March. We thought for the ease of calculations, we could do this as a one lump sum payment. It turns out that it's not that easy to do.
Got it, okay.
It became more complicated to, at every anniversary, to then go figure out overtime and figure out how much the allocation would be. So my proposal is to change it back to kind of what we were doing before, still within the legal rules, still with what we were doing before, but to make it easier for our staff and to the benefit of our employees as well, is to make the payments effective on the employee's anniversary date, but they will be paid out as part of their hourly wage, so that 15 cents will be added.
So then overtime would be calculated on top
And
of
when they
that?
get overtime, the 15 cents gets added to the overtime pay as well.
So they're sort of, so it's not really like a longevity bonus of $1,500, it's like
It
a
is.
longevity bonus of $1,500 plus
Not a bonus.
well, okay,
It'd be 1,500 plus
overtime.
overtime, yes.
It's like a longevity bump to their hourly rate.
Right,
But the rates are set at, like, if you have 30 years of service, you're gonna get $1,550. That would have been a one lump sum payment. That's now divided by the 2,080 to get an hourly rate.
right,
But if you work overtime, you also get paid that.
right. So
Right.
we're calculating overtime not on the, let's just say $20 an hour, we're basing it on the $20 an hour plus the 15-cent longevity pay, and then so overtime is being paid on time and a half on a slightly inflated hourly rate.
So, just as it says, like, you know, when going back to the state, it basically says employers can find this, doing it as a one lump sum payment as a daunting task and an administrative task, and maybe question whether the cost of performing this compensation will exceed the value of the exercise. Point is, it's easier for our staff to go back and to keep it as an hourly rate what we were doing. So I make a motion to modify our village code in section 124-10, which is on longevity, to now have such payments be effective as an addition to the hourly pay. Second?
I'll second that. I'm still
Discussion.
baffled why it's easier to do it this way than it is to just like write a check for $1,500.
Because you can't write the check, you'd have to go back and figure out find out how many hours of overtime they worked.
Oh, so
And
you have to give overtime
You
on
have to.
longevity? Oh, okay, well then that clarifies.
You have to do that.
Got it.
On any compensation, yes,
Then that makes it much more simple, sorry. I thought,
on any compensation for work, you have to pay longevity.
okay, got it.
It is a state rule. And we were doing that, we were following the state rule, and we thought we were still gonna follow the state rule. It just became a little bit more complicated than what we thought it was gonna be.
Got it, okay.
All right. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
You got it?
Got it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Sorry for the misstep, but we were able to correct ourselves.
Apologies for the confusion.
There's a lot of, checking it out, just FYI, there's a lot of municipalities that are not aware of that state rule
Yeah.
and are not doing it. So, is ignorant, that's on them, not on us. All right, police printer. The copier printer in the police station is kind of on its last legs. We went out and got 3 quotes. We got a quote from Advanced Office Technology, Tomorrow's Office, and Xerox. To go back, Advanced Office Technology is the same company that we use here within Village Hall. They gave a rate of $74.95 a month, which gives us the number of anticipated copies that we need, as well as supplying our ink and all that other kind of stuff. Tomorrow's Office, we reached out to 3 times. They kept asking questions but never gave us a quote.
I
Okay?
didn't find that
Yeah,
quote, that's why I was
okay.
wondering. Yeah.
So Xerox came back with a quote as well for $119.48 a month, kind of the same coverage.
How much
I like,
was the zero? Sorry.
pardon?
How much?
119.
119.48 a month. I'd like to make a motion to approve Advanced Office Technology for $74.95 per month plus tax.
Second.
Discussion.
Are we happy with using them? Just noticed the new printer in Ryan's office.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah,
They're the same, a little smaller than that though. Because they use less
we're
copiers.
happy with working with them.
Yep.
So far, so good.
It's new, but so far so good.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Now, food for thought, or water for thought. We have installed, through the help with the middle school civics class, the water fountain at the mini park. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it looks great. A little bit of a tweak here and there, but it's gonna be fine.
Dogs
It's
are
up, it's up and operational, and I'd like to thank, we had a little dedication celebration last Wednesday for that water fountain that consists of a water bottle filler, the regular water fountain, and a dog bowl, all installed. I'd like to thank the civics class for raising the money to do that. In the process of that discussion, working with that group, they had wanted to put in 2 water fountains. One at the mini park and one here at Village Hall, because the Village Hall pathway is on the proposed Safe Route to School pathway,
Don't see it. Map's right over there. Rhinebeck.
the green line over there. Not the yellow brick road, the green line, follow the green line. So, we're at the end of the fiscal year. Karen and I are working diligently on trying to balance the budget. Actually, Karen's doing all the work. I just answer the questions. But in some of the line items, we didn't spend all of the money. We have essentially 2 line items One that has $7,000 in it and one that has $2,000 in it for a total of $9,000. Where if we don't use the money in this fiscal year, it rolls over but doesn't roll over into those line items, and we did not fund those line items because we didn't use the money this year.
Right.
So that money is there. The fountain itself cost $12,000 and change. So we're a little over, slightly $3,000 less, we're slightly $3,000 less, but Karen has assured me that by the time she's done doing her end of fiscal year balancing, we'll be able to find the $3,000, right, to purchase another water fountain for out here. I want to take you back a little bit, because when we did the work out here, one of the big task items was to do the tap. Tap means you're tapping into the water line and running the line up so you have a shut-off valve and everything to do it. That work was done as part of the project work that we did out here. So that part is completed, right? What would be involved would be pouring a pad, which would not be as big as the pad that we have out there because it's going to be adjacent to this sidewalk, which is flat. And so it'd be like maybe a 3 foot by 5 foot instead of 5 foot by 8 foot pad that we needed over there to maintain accessibility. We would do a smaller pad, and it's physically feasible to put one here. It would be as you're going out the door on your left-hand side, on the bottom corner.
Nice,
Is where it would be.
nice.
The tap, and that's where the tap is. I'd like to make a motion to purchase another frost-free water fountain to be installed at Village Hall using monies from fiscal year 23-24.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, this is mixing apples and oranges, but where are we in terms of the Crystal Lake path? Do we have monies in the next fiscal year for that, or?
We have money in the budget for the next fiscal year, yes, but different subject.
No, I know it's different, but I just don't want to spend money if we're, if we're
This
scrounging.
money wouldn't carry over to that anyways. It's not in the appropriate line items to do that. It goes away.
Well, I mean, it flows to fund balance,
Yeah.
so, but, yeah. But to answer that question, we did talk about the Crystal Lake paths, and
Yep.
there's money in the budget for next year.
Yep.
Do we need to get this bid out? I know that there's only like one company that does these frost-free things, but.
So we can, right, and we probably should,
Because
but
it's more than 3,000.
there's only one company locally here that supplies them.
Okay,
So it's gonna be a sole source item.
okay.
But it's an okay water fountain. It's made by lots of people. We could resource and we could bid it. We could go out for bid.
Okay.
But before I go out for bid, I want to go out for bid unless we're gonna do it.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, the kids had a water fountain out here as part of their plan, but they only raised money for one.
Correct.
So I think, A, it would be great to have a water fountain in the middle of the village. But B, I think it would be really nice to support the work that the kids did by, sort of doing a bit of a matching grant, as it were.
So,
I think you gotta adjust if you're going out to bid, then you're not motioning to approve the purchase. Because we don't have a amount
quote.
yet. So it would be, do you even want to motion to go out to bid?
We could do it that way.
Okay.
And I would extend the motion and say, motion to go out to bid and select the lowest.
So I'm gonna
Qualified prior. Yeah.
amend your motion to go.
So we don't have to come back to this and wait another month and
Right.
be the end of the year till we get it done.
Go out to bid till when, sorry?
As soon as possible.
Yeah,
Till when?
As soon as possible. June 1st,
yeah.
May 31st. I mean, it needs to be done this fiscal year, right?
Correct.
So May 31st.
Okay. And then what was the other part of that you wanted to do what?
To approve it
And then-
based,
And then accept the lowest possible, then accept the lowest
Okay,
bid.
thank you.
As long as that lowest bid is not over, what, $12,500?
let's say 13.
$13,000?
Right.
Okay. Do we need to move the money around
No,
as
Was
part
it
of?
under 13?
Okay.
no.
Do I have a second for that amendment?
Second.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Great.
Vanessa, CCA.
Signs.
Oh, sign, village office, oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead. We've done a lot of work out front.
That looks nice.
You know, landscaping, sidewalks, signage, everything. There's an sign that some have noticed and some have not noticed. On the front of the village, it says Village Hall, 76 East Market Street, with an arrow pointing that way, right? The sign is made out of wood. The wood is
Falling apart.
severely delaminated, and the sign is very much faded. So the sign itself is not, can't be restored as is. You can get a new, you can get a new sign, or you can have no sign, since we have a sign out front that already says Village Hall. It's there, it's planted there, right? Or you can keep the sign, if you would like.
Do you have a preference?
My preference is, yes. I don't think the sign adds anything to our front of the building. I don't think it has any symbolic reference other than at one time it was pointing out that this side was Village Hall. And now we already have a sign over there that says this is Village Hall. So I think it's a duplicate. My preference is to remove the sign.
And how old is it?
Pardon?
Any idea how old it is?
It was probably put up in 1972 when the building was built. Or
Held up
sometime
pretty- Held up
thereafter.
pretty well for 50 years.
I was probably put up after that because it was probably, there was an issue created with trying to, who's who and where's what.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I'm open to suggestions.
Honestly, I'm fine with taking it down. I don't think a lot of people notice it. And as you said, there's a big, much more eye-catching Village Hall sign right there that's viewable from both Center Street and East Market. I'm fine with taking it down.
I kind of like it. It's the only part of this building that looks like, you know, anybody had an eye for any kind of aesthetics at some point, but, you know.
Well, you can get,
But
you
now that
can,
aesthetic doesn't match the new sign.
Exactly, so like, you know. Do we have anything on, do we have anything anywhere that says that we're 76 East Market Street? Is like the number 76 anywhere on this building?
no.
I think that would be a good thing to have somewhere. You know, whether it's probably not above the fire department entrance, because that would be then confusing.
There's nothing on the building, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people know Village Hall is 76 East Market Street, and our entrance is on Center Street, it's not 76 East Market Street. And
I have
so,
a suggestion. I think that's a good idea, by the way.
yeah,
But I'd like to amend your idea. I
Okay.
like that idea.
okay,
We have this blue and gold sign up there that matches our other sign.
yeah,
What if we made a small one to hang on the bottom of that says 76 East Market Street? Village Hall, and then
yeah, I think that'd be
put a
nice.
strip down there and put 76 East Market Street right below it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
With the same color, same paint, same font,
Yeah,
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we accomplished the mission.
Yeah,
love it.
and the fire department has on its door, like, fire department, right? And then, do we have on our,
Oh, right
Above our door, yes, we have,
okay,
It's like an iron. It says Village Hall.
okay.
above the door.
Okay, great. As long as like people looking for us aren't wandering into the fire department or rattling the door and upset why it's locked. You know,
They still will.
they still would, but, okay.
So you, like the idea of putting something beneath it and just tacking it on to the bottom?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's a nice idea.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to add a sign with the address 76 East Market Street to the existing sign up front.
Do we need to go out for bid for it or anything, or?
That'd be good.
Okay.
Once you guys actually find different things, then you can vote which ones you want to accept.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. Oh, was there a second? Did you second it? Anybody second it?
I need a second, yeah.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Done. All right, now CCA Advisory Committee.
Okay, so at our last meeting, we We passed the local law that enables us to pursue community choice aggregation. The next major step would be to put out a request for proposals for, they call administrators. These program administrator would be helping us run the day-to-day operation of the CCA program. And we can set up an advisory committee. The advisory committee could just be members of the board. What I'm proposing is that we actually get a few residents who would like to participate, help kind of advise us. So I put together something that Martina could post. That's a description of what being on this advisory committee would entail. This would not be a lot of work. This would mostly be reviewing our draft RFP and then reviewing submitted proposals and then really helping to get the program started if we do indeed advance towards a CCA. If a CCA program is up and running, the advisory committee would probably review a once-a-year annual report about the program. So it's not a huge time commitment, but I think nonetheless it would be nice to have an advisory committee since this is a big deal. So yeah, I wanted to just get feedback on this draft and see if folks had any edits or suggestions.
Just out of curiosity, sort of on a logistical question, is an advisory committee contemplated as part of the law that we passed last time?
It's not in the law.
Is not in the law?
It is.
Not the long-going advisory committee. We did pass a law to have an advisory committee to get us up to a recommendation for a CCA, that's correct. But we don't have a 5-member team that runs for 2-year terms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
not
added
involved.
the term stuff because I was just trying to anticipate questions that you guys
Right.
might have. We can also take that out, like if we think we just want the advisory committee just to help us get started, it doesn't have to be an ongoing thing. If the board would be more, that's overkill. That's something I added in because I was trying to be like, wait, how would this act, what would the mechanics be?
right.
Yeah, so I checked with the other communities that have CCAs. They don't have a long-going advisory committee. Kingston does.
Yeah,
Kingston being a different,
different animal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say animal,
Yeah.
than the town of Rhinebeck, town of Red Hook,
Yeah.
village of Rhinebeck. I do think that it's great to have an advisory committee to help us get to that point, to help us review proposals, bring recommendations, help us get the word out, all of that kind of stuff. Perfect. But I think that job ends at the time we appoint a CCA, because the CCA has to have an administrator. The administrator has to give us a yearly report, and then that yearly report is up to us and the board to review and work with.
Yeah.
So I'm in favor of having an advisory committee to help us get to the point of having a CCA. But
Okay.
not long, but I don't see the
Once
need
we're
for.
off and rolling, no need. I get
Right.
that, okay.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I think it would be a good idea if we have one to include somebody who has experience in that field,
Mm-hmm.
who has seen those sorts of contracts and can look at those contracts and come up with suggestions and
just so you know, this committee cannot approve a contract.
I'm not saying they're
Yeah,
going to
okay,
approve
just,
anything,
yeah,
I'm
they
just saying.
can review they can
that's
review the
fine, but
proposal
I just,
and make recommendations
I
to the
just think if
board.
we're going to get an advisory committee, we should pick people in the field, try to get at least 1 or 2, I mean, they don't all have to be in the field, but somebody, if we can find somebody in the field, I think it would be a big help.
Sure. And have expertise. Yeah, I think this is.
Great, that would be great. We're a small village, but you never know. You might have someone with the perfect experience.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. The only point of me asking that question before was, I think we have to create an advisory committee by resolution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to
I definitely want to get feedback first, and I can come back with a resolution.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I was just going to suggest something about board approval, because the mayor doesn't appoint, it has to be like board approval.
So I can appoint, but they have to be approved by the board.
Okay.
Right.
Appointed by mayor, approval by board. Okay.
I mean, does that have to be the case?
What do you want to call this? Do you want to call it just, you can call it just a working committee.
Right.
You don't
It's
have
like a
to,
working
you don't have to
group.
be this big
Yeah, it could be a
official.
working group.
Yeah,
I think you're making it a little bit too formalized,
Okay.
right?
it could just be a working group.
It could just be a working group of people. You could bring forward a recommendation of people and we could just vote on it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple. Try to get, I agree, we need people.
I think,
Yeah.
I would like Martina to publish it out there because, as you said, there could be someone out there in the
Sure.
village that I don't know. So I don't wanna just like handpick people, I
Yeah.
wanna
I
publish.
mean, I think what you
it,
could
post
probably
it.
do is you could probably just say the Rhinebeck Village Board, or even maybe just like, Trustee Bertozzi and Mayor Bassett are looking for folks who are interested in sitting on this working group. It doesn't have to be like a
Right.
village board
It's not-
committee, it doesn't,
Yeah, posting is separate from the board actually finalizing somebody. I can make a post about anything.
Okay.
Okay?
So are you saying that we don't wanna have it appointed by mayor, approval by board? We just wanna?
No, they have to be approved at some point. If you're
Okay.
gonna form a committee, bring the committee forward and you and I can discuss how you want to go through that process.
Okay.
And we'll bring a committee forward and
Yeah.
put it in front of the board.
I'm just,
and be done.
it's funny, like, I'm just sort of like thinking through, like, where would we put this on the website? Like, would we put it under, where like,
Working with it?
Well, yeah, I can treat it like any other position that we ask people to apply for.
yeah, no, I'm just trying to sort of think through, like, what exactly are we creating? Are we creating something that has like, that's like a planning board, or are we creating something that's like,
No.
right, we're not, yeah,
No.
exactly.
It's
So
not the
sort
tree
of-
commission.
It's not the tree
planning board,
commission, it's
yeah.
not the conference plan committee, it's just sort of like a small,
It's
it's
Just a
just
singular.
like a small, like, advisory group.
It's
Yeah.
a working group
Yeah.
to
That probably,
work with on the CCA, different CCA proposals.
right,
Yeah.
That simple.
If it lives
Singular post on the
somewhere,
webpage.
like if it's
Yeah.
living somewhere on the website, it's probably on the climate environment webpage
right.
as like
Okay.
a little section or something.
Right.
Then I think this can just be like a little like CCA advisory working group or something. I wouldn't even call it a committee.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
All
So.
right, thank you guys.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'll bring back a resolution next time and a new draft.
Cool.
Okay. At this point, I'd like to go into executive session to discuss one of our employees' contract.
Oh, second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to end the executive session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn our Village of Rhinebeck last meeting of the fiscal year for 23-24 at 4:05 PM.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.